Good. Welcome back, guys. I think this is our 5th week, maybe our 6th. I'm actually losing count, but this week we've decided to include our kids, whether the kids are going to do it by themselves and cook for their parents tonight, or whether we're going to do it together. Lucas and I are going to do it together. Say hi, Lucas. So today we're going to do meatballs cooked in a tomato sauce, and then you can finish it up however you like, whether it's on pasta of your choice. We're going to do a bake in the oven with some bocconcini cheese. You can do whatever you like, finish it up. The main part of this is the meatballs. Now before we get too much into it, I just want a little disclaimer here. I'm not Italian. My nonna did not teach me how to make meatballs, so if there are Italian people watching today, don't judge me, all right? We're going to make them how I think they should be made, and you want to adjust afterwards, go right ahead. So we're going to start with the meatballs first to get them in the oven to broil quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 pounds of meat to the bowl. Lucas is going to do that. Hopefully it won't fall on the floor. And we need, we'll do the breadcrumbs after. Get the eggs in, 4 eggs. So Lucas is going to crack the eggs. You can put the shells in here, Lucas. Okay. And while Lucas is doing the eggs, crack them into the bowl. That way we don't have any shells. Here, go there. Yeah. Crack the other ones in the bowl. So we're cracking the eggs into the bowl. That way if any shells fall, they don't go into the meat. They go into the bowl. You can get them out. Parents, if you're cooking with the kids and you have not done prep before, then I guess while that's being done, you can chop the parsley, the garlic, whatever needs to go in the meatballs. Put them in. Good. Now there's the Parmesan cheese, 3/4 of a cup. That can go in. There's pepper. About a teaspoon, maybe a little more. Again, you know how I am with my my quantities. Yep, that's good. A tablespoon of salt. Good, okay. You can tell Lucas has been baking over quarantine, making the exact amounts. And parsley, I'm just finishing chopping up. So, 1/2 cup of parsley. Sure. I'm going to put a tablespoon of oregano. And chopped garlic. Now Lucas is going to start mixing it with his hands. Slowly, just to get it incorporated. I'm going to get the garlic chopped. If you have the garlic ready to go, if you get the garlic ready to go, Lucas, your face is priceless. Now the 4 eggs, it should be quite moist. I'm using veal. Okay, it's what I bought, 2 pounds of veal. Sometimes I would put a bit of pork and veal mix. You can use beef. Actually, one of my friends today asked me if they could use chicken. You can use chicken or ground turkey as well. Make it a little bit lower in fat. But then that also could tend to be a little dry as well. So, Lucas, I'm going to throw in some garlic here while you're mixing it up. It's so cool. Good. How you doing there? Does it feel like it's ready to go?
I have no idea what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah, try to incorporate some of the garlic that's on the side. Beautiful. And the parsley. And I think you're looking pretty good. Okay, good. That's good. All right, keep your hands dirty. Now I have a little bit of Oh, geez, the breadcrumbs. Yeah, thank you, camera lady. This doesn't look super wet, so I have a half cup of breadcrumbs here. I'm not going to put it all. Hold on, Lucas. Maybe just half of it. Just fold it in. That's good.
So the breadcrumbs are for when it's too moist?
So the breadcrumbs are just there to help absorb some of the moisture and just keep it, just help with the consistency. But this looks good, so I'm not going to add any more breadcrumbs to this. All right, so as you can see, it's good. It feels a little bit wet, like, but not super wet. Now, I have a little bit of oil in, so what you're going to do is dip your fingers in the oil to help. Just rub it in your hands so the meat doesn't stick. Okay, and now you can make golf ball sized meatballs. So not too big. This will help every time, right? The phone rings at this time. Okay, so put the size of a golf ball and then put them on a baking sheet. Lucas, look at your meatballs. Okay, just try to keep them consistent size and round, preferably. Now, while Lucas is making the meatballs, I'm going to get the oven turned on to broil. So broil in the oven, and these meatballs are going to get broiled. Make sure there's space between them. Good. Not too much oil, just enough so your hands are coated on the. Okay, just your hands. You don't need to soak your hands and give them a bath. You just need to get enough so the meat doesn't stick to your hands. All right. Give them some space. If your meatballs are too big compared to each other, they're not going to cook evenly. So you want to try to keep them around the same size. Okay? Some are small, some are big. Maybe we'll add a little bit to that one. What do you think?
The other one was making them small.
So sometimes I would brown these in the pot that I'm going to cook the sauce in, make the sauce. If I had more time, that's what I would do. In today's case, we're going to broil them all at the same time together. That will get them browning a little bit quicker. Your golf balls are really big, Lucas. So this just helps to cook them at the same time. Normally, if I wanted a sauce to have a little more browning, the meatballs to have more browning to them and the flavor imparted into the sauce, I think I would do it directly in the pot, saute them in the pot, brown them in the pot, and then make the sauce from there. But for time, we're gonna just go with this.
We're gonna run out of room.
Yeah, so what we'll do is if we have an extra one, we'll brown it in the pot quickly.
Or we can just make them bigger.
You know what you can do? Here's a smaller one here. Make that one bigger. And make this one bigger. Good idea. Oh, whoa. Yeah. This is baseball size, Lucas. It's a little big. Let's make that one smaller. Lucas.
They're meant to be big.
Alright, so then I guess here by the size of these that were supposed to be golf ball size meatballs, we're looking at maybe 2 per person if you're a big eater, 3 per person, but you know, they're pretty big meatballs.
Can I go wash my hands?
Yeah, go wash your hands. Alright, so these are gonna go in the oven on broil. We're gonna have to turn them a couple times, but while they're browning, we'll get the sauce going, which in turn will drop the meatballs in the sauce to finish the cooking in the sauce. All right, and then the sauce will get a nice meaty flavor from the meatballs. There we go. Meatballs ready to go. Lucas, you're not quite ready. Can you open the oven for me, please?
Lucas was grossed out.
Yeah. I've never seen Lucas spend so much time washing his hands. Can you open the oven, please? A little bit more so I don't burn myself. Okay, it's on high. I want them to cook quickly. While we're doing that, we're going to get the sauce going so that when the meatballs are ready, we can start the sauce.
Can I open the balls?
Yeah, but we're going to saute the onions and garlic first. Okay, so you want to cut the onion, Lucas?
Sure.
Okay. So, do you remember how I taught you to do it?
Yes.
Cut the top off?
Cut both ends.
No, not the both ends, just the top. Cut the top, keep your fingers tucked away. Okay, now put the onion on its end, flat, and cut down the middle. Right down the middle, watch your fingers. It's a nice sharp knife, which is better. Now peel it. And we keep the root end attached so that the onion doesn't fall apart when we're dicing it.
Oops.
That's good, no, that's fine. Now I did say half an onion to a whole onion. This onion is not very big, so remember now you're gonna cut down, start in the middle, yeah, straight down, without cutting the root end. Without cutting the root. Straight down, and make little cuts. Watch your fingers. Another one. Good, that's okay. One more there, don't go all the way to the end. Now, good. Now can you bring the onion closer to the middle of the board so it doesn't fall on the floor? Good. Watch your thumb. Keep your thumb tucked in behind, remember? Good. This knife is really sharp right now. I just sharpened it, which is better and safer than cutting with a dull knife. Good.
Can you finish it?
You want me to do the other one? Okay. Now some of these were a little big, so that's okay. We're going to fix that after. All right?
That's what I meant.
Yeah. I thought you asked me to do this one. Do you want to do this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Do that one. Make them a little smaller. Don't watch your blade that doesn't go to the end. Tuck your thumb in. And tuck your fingertips in. Like this. Claw. Good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Alright. Well, we got some bigger pieces, some smaller pieces, but that's going to be fine. Okay, we're going to break that down in the pot anyway. Alright? This in here.
Wasn't that what the red line?
Pardon?
No, I thought that's what the lines were.
No. Okay, garlic. You want to do the garlic?
Yeah.
Yeah? You don't sound so excited. Here.
Well, I'm trying to remember how to do it.
I have.
Don't you smash it?
Yeah. Hand on. Knife on top. There. Go. Good. That's it. You don't have to kill it. Okay? You just have to crush it. Good. Now chop it up. Again, keep your fingertips tucked in behind your knuckles. Okay? There you go. That's better. Good. Do the other one. And you're going to chop it finer after. I'm just checking on the meatballs here to see how they're doing. And I think what I'm going to do here, guys, is raise this up closer to the broil quickly. And bring this right up close.
Is this fine enough?
You can do, if you can get a little more, that'd be good. If not, that'll work. Good job. Put it with the onions. Right, we don't need peel.
Don't need oil in that.
Yes. I'm gonna bring this over. I'm gonna grab the salt and the pepper, please, Lucas, and the oregano. Want to turn that on? Good. Let's start it at high, or like at medium high. All right.
How much oil do I put?
Just to coat the bottom of the pan, but not yet. Let the pot get hot first. Okay. So now we're getting some broiling happening on the meatballs. Okay, oil.
My teacher watching.
You want to throw in the onions and the garlic. Make sure you get all the bits out. Get all of it in there. Good. I'm going to stir, but not yet. It's not sizzling yet. Let it go for a
Got the
bit.
oregano.
After.
Can I open the pasta thing? The lids?
Too early.
We don't put it in, what's the thing?
Oh, you mean the sauce?
Yeah.
We're not going to put it in yet, but you can get it ready.
My hands are wet.
Would you like someone with a little bit more muscles to open it for you? No? Okay, it's going to saute for just a few minutes, get that going. I'm going to turn these meatballs around. They're starting to broil, but not quite. So we're going to leave them in there a little bit longer on that side.
Can I stir
Okay.
it?
If it's that close though, we need, yeah, give it a stir. And lower the heat, okay? Now we don't want the garlic to burn. That's good. So we got a few things going at the same time now, right? We got the onions and the garlic we have to watch so they don't burn. We have the meatballs in the oven that we have to make sure they don't burn because it is on broil. You don't need that now, Lucas. So we just, you got to keep an eye on things, make sure, don't forget that you have things going on. And then once the sauce is going and the meatballs are ready, then we can focus on getting the pasta cooked. If you had time, ideally, this sauce would be nice if it could cook, you know, another hour, but it'll still be really nice just as it is. So I'm going to turn these around. Actually, they're browning nicely.
How long does it take to brown?
Until it's brown. Depends on the heat of your oven. Obviously, the higher heat, the quicker it's going to brown. It's better that way, actually. Okay. Some of them seem to be breaking apart, which I don't like, but we'll make it work. Okay, back in. All right, Lucas, ready for the sauce?
Yeah.
All right,
That pour it all in at the same time.
just do one at a time. There's no rush. Gently. There you go. If you turn it at an angle, you might get it running out a little bit easier. There you go. We're gonna use that after. That's okay. Do the other one. Turn it. So it's like ketchup, Lucas. There you go. So the passata is very thick. Okay, it's been strained, so it's really just tomato puree. Okay, now to get the rest of the tomato out, we're just going to add a little bit of water to the bottom. Give it a shake with the lid back on. Yes. Lucas was thinking he would hold all the tomato sauce in his nice white sweater with his hands. Makes sense? Hey, bud? Good.
Yes, it makes sense.
Over there. And give it a stir, please. Now we'll just get the sauce simmering until we can add the meatballs to it. Just gently, Lucas.
With all the oil,
Doesn't matter. That's okay. Just have to stir it gently. You don't want to take a bath in tomato sauce. Good. The meatballs are really starting to go. My parchment paper that I like to use on my pans to keep my pans cleaner doesn't like the heat that much, so I gotta be careful it doesn't catch on fire.
Do I keep stirring?
Nope, you can stop. Now we're gonna have it about medium, maybe just above medium to simmer. That's for the bake.
What do you mean we're baking it?
We're gonna bake the pasta. That's what we're gonna do. Okay?
What?
Something different.
How do you bake it? You boil the pasta, then you put it in?
Yes. Alright. I'd like these to be a little more brown, but I'm not liking the way they're starting to fall a little bit apart. So I'm going to stop them there, and I'm going to gently drop them in the sauce. Okay, so...
Do you pick them up with your hand?
Probably not. I would. Will you? It's hot. It's good. Gently put the meatballs in the sauce. Be gentle with them because some of them are falling apart. If some of yours are falling apart, just be careful. And you're going to drop it in the sauce. Too hot? Good. You want to keep
I don't
going?
think the pan's big enough.
It'll fit. There. As the meatballs go in, it'll expand. Right? You'll just have to find little spots for them. Okay. Lucas is going to go wash his hands. Probably grossed out again by touching the meatballs. And these are now going to... We're going to cover the pot. Let that simmer. Let them simmer for as long as you like. Okay, they need to be cooked clearly. We're going to let them go for at least 20-25 minutes before we can actually start to cook. Okay, or start making your pasta dish. They're going to need to simmer for a little while. Okay, so that's good. This is quite hot. Now, just a couple things that we haven't done yet. We haven't seasoned the sauce with any salt or pepper. I'm going to add just a little bit of oregano to the sauce. I don't want to add too much, especially the dried oregano, because it can be quite strong. If you have fresh basil leaves, you can put them in towards the end. But there's already oregano in the meatballs, so I wouldn't put too much.
Can I put pepper in after?
Yeah, a little bit of salt. If the meat will impart some of its flavor, so you can salt it at the end as well, okay, if it needs more salt after you taste.
What about the pepper? Could you use pepper at the end too?
Yep, you could. That's good, Lucas. That's good. Now it's starting to bubble. You look very engaged in this.
I'm hungry.
You're going to have to wait a little while. Alright, just make sure that the meatballs are submerged in there, and this is going to have to go for a little while. Don't rush the meatballs, don't rush the sauce. That's pretty much it, okay, for the process of cooking the sauce and the meatballs. So we don't have to go too much further. A couple things I wanted to discuss with you when you're making your pasta, whether it's spaghetti or whatever noodle you're using. Once it's cooked, don't rinse it in the water. Don't rinse it in the sink. Just drain it, and then have a hot pan ready to go. Okay, so if I'm making spaghetti noodles or pasta, I have a pan, and I would take some sauce, put it in the pan, just a little bit, just a couple ladles full into the pan, and drop your cooked pasta into there. Toss it in the sauce, let it cook in the sauce, so take it out of the pot a little al dente, a little firm, and then finish cooking it in the pot with the tomato sauce. Just tossing it, turning it. That way, the pasta will absorb some of that sauce from the tomato sauce, and you won't get this just plate of white pasta on your plate and then sauce on top. It doesn't really absorb the flavor. So that's a little trick that if you're doing real pasta, again, I'm not Italian, you finish cooking the pasta in the pan with some sauce, and then add your meatballs to it if you want, with a little extra sauce on top and some cheese. What we're doing for our family tonight is we're going to cook some, we're going to do chickpea pasta, okay? So it's chickpea, little fusilli, okay? And we're going to cook this, strain it, and put it in this casserole dish with the sauce and the meatballs and little mini bocconcini cheese that I bought, or that I got the other day. I'm going to toss that in there and bake it in the oven with some Parmigiano Reggiano sprinkled on top, and then that'll be our dinner for tonight. It's nice, just something different than just pasta, normal pasta. You could throw that. So if you haven't decided on pasta and you have a lot of options and you want to try that, you can do that. You can throw grated cheese, whatever you like. So this is simmering nicely. I'm going to just take the lid off a little bit just so you can see, and drop it down. Okay, just to simmer. Thank you. Actually, our oven's going to stay on though, because we're going to be baking it in the oven, okay, at 375. Okay, so the meatballs, now you guys can let them cook as long as you want. You're eating it tonight, half an hour, 20 minutes, they'll be ready. The sauce will have the flavor of the meat that's been cooking in it, as well as the onions and the garlic. That's it. Do you have any more questions for me?
Nope.
Have there been any questions that have come up that people have been asking? No? Sorry, Lucas, you had a question? Yep.
I forgot. Why are we using chickpea pasta and not regular pasta?
Well, because it's the only pasta we have in the house that we can bake in the oven. We can also have the egg pasta, egg noodles, and just do it on a pan if you want, but then we're going to use the cheese tonight. So that's why. Is that okay? Yeah? So that's it, everybody, and I think now you can just let the meatballs cook. As you can see, now they're holding their shape better in the sauce. All right? It's quite a bit of sauce. 2 pounds of meat gives you enough, so I won't put all this in the pasta bake. It's plenty of meatballs for 6 people easily. We're going to be patient. We're going to let this go for a little while. If there are no questions that are coming in, we're going to cut this video at 30 minutes. Very simple, meatballs with whatever pasta you like. Remember, try it. If you don't do it, try the sauce in the pan. Put your cooked pasta in the pan. It's a much better way to eat spaghetti or any kind of pasta noodle than just having it from boiling water to strainer to plate. Thank you for joining. Lucas, you want to say bye to the people that are watching today?
How many viewers were there today?
I don't know. I can't see it. You might
So,
want to say hi to Ivanovo, though.
Again, there's a...
Hi,
if you, please, I'd love to see pictures shared on Facebook. Hashtag #CookWithPhil. And love to see them. Post them on there and attach them to the Facebook post that was there earlier. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week.
Say hi, Eminem.
Thanks, guys.